Hey guys, this is going to be my slightly late review for ECW on May the 19th. I apologise for that. And we kicked off the show this week with Jack Swagger sitting in the middle of the ring in a suit, obviously not dressed to compete, claiming that he's commandeering the ECW ring and that he is not moving until justice is done for the wrong he feels that he suffered at the hands of Christian in the last two pay-per-views, of course, with Christian retaining the ECW title at Judgment Day by pulling the tights of Jack Swagger to gain leverage. A couple of referees come down to try and move him, and he says he's not moving, you can send Blondie out here. He's very sort of disparaging to interim GM Tiffany, which is kind of fair enough, because as JR has noted on his blog, why is Tiffany qualified to do this job? For what reason is she the interim GM of ECW, apart from the fact that she looks cute in a suit? Really, like, I like the way that Swagger's playing that. It's pretty fair enough. He starts going on about how Christian's never beat him, and he refers to Tiffany, who comes down to the ring and tells him to get out, refers to her as Britney Spears and as a temp. And then she says something along the lines of, "Oh, a temp am I? Well, this temp will make sure that if you don't leave this ring now, you'll never receive another ECW title shot ever." So, sort of sheepishly, Swagger exits the ring, and Tiffany introduces Christian for the first match of the evening. And Christian and Swagger meet kind of halfway down the ramp, and Christian takes his eyes off Swagger for a moment, and Swagger pushes him off the ramp. And for the whole first match, they're really selling the idea that Christian's tweaked his knee while doing this, so he's suffering from a leg injury of sorts. We go to ad break, and before the next match comes back, we get a promo, a video promo, which we get twice in ECW this week, about Ric Flair coming back to Raw, and it says, "Ric Flair may be retired, but he's far from gone." And I was just thinking, oh dear God, I think it's my turn to review Raw next week, and I'm not looking forward to that. Ric Flair, you're retired. Fuck off. Like, you know, obviously a great wrestler, a great man, but just give it up. I mean, it's just gotten embarrassing. And this is exactly what all those Chris Jericho promos were warning against. Anyway, save it for the Raw review. We come back, and Christian's opponent is Paul Burchill, which I'm pleased about because I like Burchill. I think he's an underused wrestler. Matt Striker had a very odd day on commentary today, really overusing his ridiculous phrases that he uses to describe people. Refers to Paul Burchill during this match as a scoundrel of skullduggery, and also refers to Katie Lee as the Scarlet Witch. I don't know where he got that from. Where do you dig these phrases out from? I mean, it's totally ridiculous. I do like that Striker's playing up the heel commentator very much. He's very anti-Christian in this match. He's very much with the Christian's a cheater, blah, 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 blah. I miss heel commentators. I miss Jerry Lawler being a heel commentator. He was better at it than Matt Striker, but, you know, Matt Striker, even if he's a bit full of himself, he's quite good. Next to an idiot like Josh Matthews, he looks fantastic. He was really playing up the knee injury in this match as well. How can the Englishman not win? How can he not beat Christian? Christian's got this knee injury. This match wasn't bad. Burchill did some clever wrestling throughout, you know, very much working the leg, working the knee, and it wasn't the most exciting to watch, really, but it was well thought out, so I appreciated that. Christian hit a nice tornado DDT at one point, that was good. And Striker says, "Oh, that might be the best thing we see from Christian this whole match." Yeah, right. Hits his reverse DDT thing, his spinning elbow off the top rope, and finally the kill switch for the victory, which of course we all knew was going to happen, but it does kind of make Burchill look like an unfortunate idiot to say, how can he possibly lose this match, and then lose it. Christian then speaks to Josh Matthews in the ring, and he says he has unfinished business with Tommy Dreamer, because if you remember, Tommy Dreamer challenged for the ECW title recently, and Jack Swagger interfered and had declared a no contest. So Christian says that Tommy Dreamer is allowed another shot at the ECW title because his contract's expiring in less than 2 weeks, and as we know, Tommy Dreamer said he will retire if he doesn't capture the ECW title. I don't like his chances. You get a little backstage segment next where Tiffany and Jack Swagger are talking. Jack Swagger's raging about this Tommy Dreamer decision. But Tiffany says, of course she's considering the match, and she says, take the night off before your mouth gets you in any more trouble. So kind of as usual on ECW, we don't actually see Swagger wrestle. I've kind of noticed he doesn't seem to wrestle an awful lot. There are some guys that are out there, you know, every week, and Swagger doesn't seem to compete an awful lot. It's a little odd. Next up, for once, local athlete is not getting squashed by Vladimir Kozlov. We have local athlete Adam Green versus Zack Ryder. Now, I'm not being funny, and I'm not kidding. This whoa 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 gimmick is really pissing me off. That's not a gimmick. That is whoa whoa whoa. Like, just no, please. Like, really, don't do that. He's got a lot of hair flicking, and it's just a kind of very bog standard heel approach. There's nothing really exciting about Ryder's gimmick. This match wasn't great. It wasn't as bad as I expected. Ryder, in the closing moments of the match, hit the two best pieces of offense I've ever seen him hit. I don't think I remember any offense he hit during his reign as tag team champion. How did that happen? He hit a nice leg lariat kind of thing to the neck, like jumps up and drops the leg from standing on Adam Green, which was quite cool. I quite appreciated that. And then he debuted his new finisher, which appears to be kind of like a neck breaker, but I liked this. It was kind of like sets up like MVP might for the Playmaker, but with his knee against the back of the head instead of his leg, and instead of spinning around forward, he spins backwards so the back of the head lands on the knee. Looked pretty painful. Quite a nice maneuver. I'm not sold on it as a finisher yet, but a good move that I've not actually seen used before, so I liked that. Ryder was wearing some very, very strange ring attire. They commented on it a lot in commentary. It was like half purple tights and half like underwear, like pants, with the leg exposed. Very strange. As Matt Striker said at the end of the match, that guy is a tool, which I quite liked. He is a tool. And then we get a very disturbing backstage segment where David Hart Smith claims, amongst the Hart Trilogy, that's what they seem to be calling him, Tyson Kidd and Natalya now, claims that he was better than his father ever was. Really? Really? You think you can get away with saying that? You ain't no bulldog yet, son. No chance. Anyway, it was very short, just basically to get that out. Then, oh, it gets better. We have a Vladimir Kozlov promo, wearing that ridiculous Russian military outfit again. I'm pretty sure he's not a highly decorated member of the Russian military, as Matt Striker claims he is. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he actually is. He looks absolutely the stupidest thing ever in that outfit. Does the same thing he always does, delivers a promo half in English, half in Russian. I've seen it before, it wasn't good in the first place. Stop showing me it. And then we get a small segment, we get a lot of segments on this show, just confirming that Dreamer will get his ultimate ECW title opportunity on Superstars. That'd be like saying that the man's career is going to see its send off on Sunday Night Heat. Like, I think that sums up what WWE feels about Tommy Dreamer. Possibly justified, maybe he's not very talented. And finally we have the main event. I don't have very long to talk about it, but we have David Hart Smith against Finlay. As I would have expected from two kind of brawling style wrestlers, the wrestling is quite limited, it's not very exciting to watch. I appreciate what Smith was trying to do in the match, trying to lock in lots of different submission holds, really show his time at the dungeon had taught him something. Did use the camel clutch twice. I'm bored enough of the Big Show using it, I don't really need to see you use it too, son. He did a nice running power slam like his father used to do on the outside. That was probably a high point of the match. And at the end of the match, the Hart Trilogy, as they keep calling them, interfered. Natalya gave D.H. Smith her shoe, and he lamped Finlay over the head with it, and then hit what they're labeling as a high and tight suplex. But basically it was just a side lock belly to back suplex. Not a finisher. Really, really not a finisher. Not acceptable. Got the victory. Matt Striker was quick to point out that was probably more to do with the shoe than anything, because a high and tight is not a finisher. I like the angle. I love this Hart Trilogy angle because I love the, the old school vibe of it. But we'll see where it goes. ECW overall, not a bad show. I'll be interested to see where they take this angle next week. I'd like to see Evan Bourne back on TV. Comment, rate, subscribe. I've run out of time, but I appreciate you watching. Cheers, guys.